All right, we are up on YouTube. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Make sure the stream is good. I got the right screen on. All right, cool. So this is a look from our Discord point of view, and we have Kevin here streaming this morning. Just to kind of give you an idea of what the inside of Bullish Bears looks like on our Discord channel directly. So I'm just going to copy the screen and send it right to YouTube just like it is. All right, now to get my own chart back up. So what's cool about this is I can flip between Kevin's view and my view.
That's fun.
You got one monitor on that machine. Okay, you're back and forth too. I see it. Cool. That's good because it gives us the ability to kind of show exactly what you get when you sign up and get into our Discord channel.
Absolutely. Great community to be in. Don't miss out.
All right, I've got.
Here's a nice. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. I was just gonna say we're right at regression from the open. Right down the middle, we rejected that 407, which was the upper division. So if we bounce off of regression here, we got a good shot at going right back to that that division up top there. Might get a two
Hey,
for one.
Thinkorswim people. Oh, sorry. Thinkorswim people, I got a little trick for you right here. So, I wanted to plot out this demand zone, this 45-minute demand on the VIX, and when I plotted it, it didn't stick exactly where I wanted it to. So what you could do on Thinkorswim is you go to settings, and this right here, snap drawing, go to open, high, low, close, apply. Then when you want to plot a line or a level, it's going to stick to it.
Ah,
It's going to
cool.
go exactly to the wick. It's going to go exactly to the open, the high, the low, the close. So you don't have to go in and edit it each time.
Nice. All right, we're off regression. Looking like first target 406.70. Done. Just nailed it. Now the 2 for 1 is possible, coming through 406.70 up to 407.10 would be the next division line. I'm not streaming this, but I'm kind of talking through it. So if you're watching on your 5-second chart, start drawing your own lines.
Here, I'll throw up some 1 minutes for you.
There you go. Yeah.
And guys, a lot of times what I'll do, I'll chart VIX, like VX futures, because they're open 23 hours a day, just like ES futures and Q futures. But I'll switch over to VIX, which is just the equity version of it, just like SPY is to ES, QQ to NQ. And the reason for that is, like you'll see when I switch my chart, is the price action's a lot smoother and easier to read on VIX than VX intraday.
Very cool. Watching Tesla take a dive. Ouch. I was looking at some dude's YouTube channel last night, and he was saying that if Tesla has a chance of breaching 140, it could hit 120, and it makes sense. I did the dope myself.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Breach of 140 could take it to 120.
Oh no, I thought after that you said you did something yourself.
Oh, I did the dope myself. I call my chart analysis dope. It's data on previous encounters.
Oh, that's what I thought you said. I just wasn't sure if I heard you right.
Yeah. I have a lot of friends who
Yo,
are military and some of them who are snipers, and yeah, that's kind of an old thing for sniper schools. They talk about doping your scope, or you dope you write down your dope on the side of the butt of your rifle, so you have a reference chart that you can go to for really quick ballistics telemetry and situational encounters. So
That's cool. Hey guys, if you look at the Tesla charts I have up on my screen right now, if we're looking at the daily, we're creating a really nice daily supply zone right here. If this candle closes nice and red, even below this would be great. We're gonna run, just like Jeremy was saying. We're gonna see 140, 145 this week on Tesla. Absolutely.
yeah, that's where that gap zone
2 weeks.
is.
This is a very nice basing candle. Very nice for a supply zone.
All right, looks like we're
If
gonna.
anybody has chart recommendations, you just let me know. Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, anything. Big cap, large cap, I'd rather do is better for supply and demand, but anything's good for key levels. And Jeremy, if you see anything YouTube comments wise, let me know too. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm always watching that. And actually, I think we might have the comments turned off today, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yeah, they're off today.
Only the members get to comment.
That's right. We can say though, you can still comment on the channel, and it'll pop up. I can still read those, and I do try to reply to those.
I got this cool study. It does like an auto trend line. Oh, did I not save it? No, why would I save it?
There we go. Come on, 406.75 now. That line's angled up just a bit. I'll throw a screenshot of it into the chat here. Running on a different monitor, so it's more tricky for me to get these screenshots because I've got you on my big monitor so I can see your charts.
Yeah, I try to keep it simple chart-wise. ES, NQ, VIX, and then I pop back to the other chart. Is either two big charts, or I could pull up the set of six with all the equities.
Nice. So I'm looking at that bounce off of regression there, and we've kind of been chopping around the first division line, and I think we're going to set up for a push to that which is now 407.15 for target, off of that that line you see we breached right there on the chat there. I posted it. That's just a subdivision from original regression up to the next division. And a 1 minute chart, we're setting up a little bit of a reversal here. It's got to confirm off of this though. If it breaks here, that can actually fail and be a bear flag too, so be careful. And if it breaks regression, I know it'll just start playing in the bottom end of the channel, and then we start fan lining down. Nope, didn't get our bullish 1 for 1. And we can add some divisions here at this point.
Hey guys, if I'm ever posting like a trade plan or what levels I'm watching or just in general what I'm looking for, I always make sure there's some sort of confirmation. I don't just wait for the zone and react to it like, oh, it's here, it's in this zone, let me buy, let me short. Right. That does work sometimes because of how liquid these zones are, but that's you need more confirmation than that, especially if it's ES and NQ. Sometimes on a NVIDIA or something it's good to do, but so.
There was one trader out there I was chatting a little bit with, and he has something that he writes down and sticks on a post-it note on his screen. It's just 3 different things. Be patient. Don't predict. Just react. And I'm just like,
very good. I like that.
It kind of takes you to the point where, yeah, that's just it. So we're patient. We wait. We don't go and panic in a reaction. We just take our targets, lay them out, trade from one to the other. We don't have to predict in that way because we've already seen what the chart is telling us. So like the probabilities are where it's at. So technically the don't predict thing, it's a little off to me because that's all I do with these 1-for-1s. I can predict if I see one leg, I know it usually has a high probability of setting up for the second leg. The 1-for-1s are very common, high probability. So if I'm plotting on that 5-second chart, I can get those 1-for-1s all day long. Technically, it's a way to predict.
Right, there has to be some sort of predictability in the market for you to be a successful trader, because you throw the predictability along with confluence, confirmation, and high probability, and you're no longer guessing or gambling, but you're trading.
Right. And here comes a possibility of a 2-for-1. So you can see I've added a division line since the last post there. Come off that base, we're still one deviation above the regression line. That's the white line at the bottom. We're expanding though, so we're getting into a broadening range, which means we're going to have either a compression on the other side of this and then a reaction, or we're going to continue to trend from here. So this is getting tighter and tighter on the opening range here. Or
One
wider.
quick thing.
Sorry.
No, you good, you good. One quick thing I'm pointing out right now is that we are in this 8-hour demand we broke yesterday on NQ, but it was the only valid zone, so I kept it because it was used as an area of interest. It was used as a supply. It was used as a support. We're not able to close above it, which is a big telltale for me. And then same if we look at ES, this is also a new. Same with ES, sorry, finger slipped. It's also a used strong new zone, and we're also rejecting getting into that. So things I look for is rejecting getting into zones and rejecting getting out of zones, because those zones create an area where I'm going to look for some type of range or some type of chop. And if we can't get into it, we're going to reverse. If we can't get out of it, we're going to reverse. Or if we're holding it.
Tesla's
A lot of times
smacking.
it's not so much holding it, but more rejecting it.
Got Tesla smacking 155, man. Oof. That's a big drop. It's kind of dragging the market a bit too, but we're still
Oh yeah, look at that. That's nice.
we're still in range expansion. This is the third wave of range expansion, so this is where I would expect wave or range contraction on the chart before breaking over. If it's going to do the old diamond setup, but if not, it can certainly just be a quick bear flag and a rip down. So be nimble here. It's threatening right now. And we'll probably get a 1-for-1 straight to regression from here. Watch out.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Hey, good morning, good morning.
I saw that there is a zone in Tesla. Is it based on today candle or what?
Which zone are you looking at?
A zone for today daily, the whole candle.
Oh, are you looking at the NVIDIA chart I sent?
No, he's looking at
no,
Tesla.
the Tesla.
Oh, Tesla, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, so when you make it all depends on the time frame you're doing. So what I would look for here, to mark this zone, supply zone, you would mark from the candle open, and that would be the supply. You would mark that as a daily, and that would be the start of the zone. And then you would close it at the top of the wick, because that's where there are a bunch of unfilled orders, because this move right here was impulsive. Now, what would make this zone even better is if the next candle was a sell-off as well, because again, that leaves so much extra liquidity up here that makes that zone even better.
Great, thank you.
Sure thing. But we do have to take in for a fact that we are in a 195-minute zone. And the reason that is so important is 195 minute is a half day. So basically we get 6.5 hours of trading. and Tesla is only open during trading hours, unlike futures. So 195 would bring us 9:30 to 12:45. 12:45 would bring us to 4 o'clock. And the reason I say it's important is because we're still in this zone, which means the zone is holding and is valid. If we're able to break below this zone and close near the bottom or below it, then it's invalid. Once this zone's invalid, I would say that daily zone is a-okay, good to go, gonna do great.
Good stuff.
When you pointed to 195, you remind me of Simpler Trader. You were taking courses from them?
Simpler Trader? No, Carmine Rosado, his invested trade, he does supply and demand. That's where I learned like most of this stuff. Simpler
When I
Trader,
took some
that's
courses from, always mark the 195 minute. I didn't see anybody marking the 195. That's why I mentioned. Oh,
Right.
I said
no.
that.
I'm gonna have to look into them. Simpler Trader, that sounds very familiar. Yeah, I picked this up from somebody that trades in a firm in the city on Wall Street, which is pretty cool. So that's where I got that from.
No, don't go there. Don't go there.
That's
I
funny.
I wanted to point
They
out
are
it's
selling for things, and I pay dearly for it, and don't go there.
gotcha. I was gonna make a parallel, kind of if you look at it, Al Brooks stuff, it's kind of this very similar to that bar 41 on the 5 minute chart. It's right in that 1245 to 1250.
Yeah, I think we lost you, Jeremy.
1245 to 1255 time frame is that bar 41 on a 5 minute chart. So it's very similar to that 195 minute.
Gotcha. Yeah, like you see it, like there's a 6 hour too if you do futures. What's cool with the supply and demand is you could sort of go into a bunch of different time frames, but the goal isn't to find a zone on every time frame. The goal is to find an area of consolidation that caused a reaction or an area of consolidation that had a big move after it.
Right.
The ones with the biggest moves are the strongest zones. Like this 6 hour right here was really nice because it was a red basing. Look at that wick on the bottom, no wick on top, and then it had boom, big rally, sort of chopped, and it continued. Then what happens as soon as we get into that? Look at that, we wicked this zone right here. Oh wait, no, it's not even there. It was here. Look at that on the 5 minute chart. As soon as we wicked it, we had a, what's that, 15-point move? 16-point move? That's pretty crazy. So that just shows that those unfilled orders in that 6 hour zone were still present because this big rally left those unfilled.
Right. All right.
But the more the zone is used, the more the market eats up those orders. So like right here we wicked in and we rejected. Then the next time we were in the zone, we went a little deeper in the zone. Now we're making our way back to the zone again. The question is, will we hold this lower high or are we going to go make a lower low right now? Which, again, a lower low inside demand, for people who don't trade supply and demand like a lot of retail, they might be unaware of this zone and they might be shorting this lower low and we might end
Right.
up bouncing, you know?
Yep. About to
So
nail that 406 target. That pivot is right on. Done. 1 for 1. Come on.
Oh, here's a nice 6 hour
5 more
supply.
pennies. Yeah. It's right there at that 406. And 1 for 1's almost done. It'll bounce a nickel over
All
and
right.
watch.
Here we go.
Thank you, Kevin, for all the information you've given us through the supply and demand. And please, if you don't mind, if you
Boom.
keep repeating what you're saying in a daily basis, so it click, and I do appreciate that. For me,
Yeah,
but
man, absolutely. I'm so glad, you know
mean,
what, I see you in here sometimes, but you haven't spoken, so I don't know. As some people are in here, I don't know if they're really in here.
well, usually Jeremy knows. I go to
Oh, yeah.
work and I leave the page open.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm trying to follow but unfortunately going to work it stopped me. But um, whatever I can, I follow. But I like the way you're approaching supply and demand, and I'm trying to digest it. I'm too old to keep information on my brain, but it is really great. So if you always emphasize on different time and where is the supply, where is the demand, and those kind of things, I do appreciate it.
Absolutely,
And
man. I
definitely,
really,
Jeremy is the greatest. But we learn from everybody. Thank you.
Look,
absolutely. Thank you so much for the feedback. I really appreciate that.
we got variety.
That's right.
Because everyone is strong in some point or some area, and definitely I see Kevin is a lot has a lot of experience, so it's great, and I do appreciate it personally.
He's a sharp cookie,
No,
that one.
absolutely.
I think we'll keep him.
Tell that to the boss, man.
I know exactly.
You get my
Absolutely.
vote, Jeremy. Yes.
And he's got some good stuff, and it's something that's a little different than what I do, but it arrives very simplistically to the same conclusions. It's really cool. All right, we're at my regression line. Got my 1-for-1 on the downside. Now we're sitting here floating at the bottom of the liquidity zone on the
Q level on NQ right now.
yeah, that too.
So what I would do in this instance, because we're in this supply and we're obviously selling off hard, if NQ would hold below that, I'd look for a pullback and then enter short. It's hard
Right.
to catch a falling knife.
Yep. But when you do, and you get it right, you make a really, really good trade. I'm gonna go and explore a couple more time frames to see what I'm looking at. And I like the 15-minute because it gives me a nice big bearish 1-for-1 with a failed double bottom here just spilling through the liquidity zone. So if we see that as a 1-for-1, that puts us on target for a 401 bearish trade. Ouch. I think we
Ooh,
might
look at
nail it.
that. VIX is popping too. That's a nice drop right there.
Yeah,
Real clean.
we're sticking it. I'm going to take caution with that 406 pivot, though. If we float 50 cents either side of that, we could hang here for a while before we either bounce back in through the whole liquidity range up to 410, or we fail and we breach that 406 and start making a 1-for-1.
Damn, look at that. That's crazy. Ain't that something? VIX
Nice
popping
rip.
up. Everything's just gone.
Sayonara.
See how equities are doing right now.
What the deuce? Huh. My Webull just shut down. Darn it.
Man, I haven't even been trading today. I've just been focusing on the stream.
I've got
Gotta
some.
get that down first, then I'll get back to trading.
I got some options going, and like I said, I got a very small
Hey,
account.
Tesla broke that zone. Tesla's gonzo. Microsoft's also gonzo. Is gonna drop. It's at 294.47 right now. We're gonna see 292 today on Microsoft. Amazon in supply. Yeah, I don't know. Unless there's some type of hold right here. We are looking very, very weak. NVIDIA 15-minute supply zone created as long as this 15-minute candle continues to sell off.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Hey, good morning.
I had another nugget of truth come to me last night. I realized that the cache for Webull that keeps track of all my drawings, it transfers from the mobile account to the desktop account, so it's obviously stored in their cloud or their server. So in order to wipe that cache, I can't do it on my computer. I have to wipe it from their server, so I got to figure out how to do that. I'm going to start doing some research into that because I'm running out of lines. Like, it just starts screwing with my drawings, and I have to delete everything to start over. And it's not just SPY drawings, it's not just QQQ drawings, it's all of them cumulative, meaning everything I put on every other chart is added up to the point where I'm spilling over the top of the cache. So at least that's my theory of why I'm having trouble drawing lines on Webull.
Hey, just want to thank everybody for hopping in here today and joining and watching and participating. It was very good, very cool. Just want to also mention, if anybody hasn't seen the message I posted earlier, I added everyone. Just to let you guys know we're sort of switching stream chat over to main chat. So again, feel free to always post charts, ask for any tips, recommendations, advice, ask for chart TA, technical analysis, post your technical analysis. We're a trading community, and I feel like we should really push sharing our charts and asking for, I don't know, just an extra eye, an extra head. 2 heads are better than 1.
Absolutely.
So main chat is the new stream chat. Market updates is where Sig the man is posting his updates continuously throughout the day. Markets open, markets closed. Sig is there. So got some great channels in here.
Gotcha.
Oh, man. All right.
Nice drop on a 15-minute candle on a video.
Cute.
And also, if you guys want to just post even a little about yourself, because obviously I'm new to the Bullish Bears community. Jeremy knows you guys better than I do. Would love to know, like, who's trading what. Are you guys trading options? I know I spoke to a few of you. I know a bunch of you are trading futures. That's great. So am I. But, yeah, would just love to get to know most of y'all a little bit more since I'll be here for a bit.
Yeah, I gotta say, you've been in the community for years. You kind of took a hiatus for a while there.
Yeah.
But
I
in
had to
that,
take my medical leave of absence. I was pregnant.
there they go. But
I gave birth to a colon.
long story short, you're a vet. You've been around for a
Yeah.
while, so not just a fly by night throwing a moderator in here type of thing. He's been here a while. He's picked up a lot, and like I said, he's a smart cookie.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that.
I hope you all took advantage of my market alert and caught 20 points on the ES right there, 10 points on the ES.
That was a sweet drop right through regression.
While I was gone,
Yeah, when you get up to go get something or do something, it's on. We got a nice 2-for-1 setup.
I alerted you right at 9 o'clock.
Yep. I'm gonna leave. Watch this. Hold my beer.
That's great.
Yeah. Before I left, I put in a quick short on the M&Q just to
Hey, good job.
Nice.
Yeah.
You take profits yet? He's still holding.
No, he had a target and and a stop, so when it
Hey,
triggers.
that's how it's done. That's how it's
I
done.
on days on choppy days and whatnot like this, I don't let things just run. I just keep it pretty tight. If I lose it on M&Q, I lose $12. If I make money, I make $25. It's basically that.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, check out real quick. Look at the reaction we're getting at this 8-hour demand zone to a tick. 408.325 to 408.325 low of ES right now. Plus NQ is still sort of in a range. Range it's been in since yesterday afternoon, I'd say. About 12,890 to 1,300. A little under 1,300. But I don't see bulls holding anything today. They didn't hold anything yesterday.
No, we're going down to 4061, man. I'm telling you. 4061 is my target.
Market's getting dragged.
Now we're gonna double bottom right here.
You had a question in the chat there
a little.
about Microsoft going down. I'm going to pull that up and tackle that if you don't mind.
Yeah. Microsoft
Microsoft
actually bounced since I said that. Before, when I called Microsoft out, the candle was like down here on the 15-minute.
Yep. I'm just great minds right here. I just pulled up the 15-minute, and I'm going to show you what I see. Simple as can be.
Play.
You have a earnings overshoot, you had a bullish measured move, and you have a likely 50% retracement. There you go.
Nice. That sounds like a good trade, Jeremy. You better take that.
I'm all over Tesla first, so that's where most of my equity is right now.
I've been on Microsoft from 240.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's just typical
Maybe.
earnings overshoot. It's not like in stone. It's not gonna like crash over the next, on a daily chart type of thing. It's just an overshoot from earnings will almost always fade, and then come back to reasonable pricing or fair market value, if you will. So when you get those massive gap ups on earnings like this, a lot of retail chased it there. It's got to come back to earth. It's got to come back and settle somewhere. And typically, even if you don't get a full 50% retracement of that entire, you see that big bullish measured move there into the close and after hours. Even if you don't get a full 50%, expect some division of there. So like you could get a 25% or 33% if you want to use fibs or whatever. I just almost always expect a pullback. I made a really killer trade on Amazon similarly. I was expecting an earnings overshoot, and I sold a way out of the money covered call on it. Sold it for like 195. It was like, I think it was a week out to expiration. I bought it back the next day for 8 cents because of that exact setup, just an expected overshoot and a retrace. So yeah, it's just kind of expected. If you've got the capital to wheel trade Microsoft, that's exactly how I would do it. All right, we are out of liquidity zone. I think we're going to hit that 401 today, guys. That's looking like a perfect bearish measure move setup now. We looked like we were going to bounce, and then we didn't. Now we're into the lower channel of regression. We've got some stripes to follow as far as our fan lines. And the next 1-for-1 would take us down to about 404.40 if we breach this current fan line. And I'll post a chat. In the chat, I'll post a chart of that real quick.
In the chart, post the chat of the chat of the chart.
Sure. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I had epiphanies. I sat up in bed like my brain broke the matrix.
I was gonna say you were busy having messages from another universe.
That's it. All right, hopping off that. There's another division between there and our regression line. That's what that is. Okay. Either we reject here or we bounce through this and get a bull 1-for-1. I'll zoom in and get a picture. I just added this. Boop.
Hey guys, what I'm doing right now, somebody asked for a reason why I was short Microsoft in the chat. So if you want to take a look at my screen, what I'm doing is I am duplicating the Fibonacci, the chart that I have on TOS, but what I'm going to do once I duplicate it is just delete all the mess, delete all the zones, delete all the extra stuff. I might even just make a new chart thing completely and rechart the fib itself on a new clean chart, which is great to have clean charts because when you take the zones and the levels away, a clean chart gives you a new perspective.
Yes, sir. Wipe your lines once in a while. I got to figure out how to clear the entire cache because I think that's what my problem is. I just have too many lines drawn that are still there in the cache on many, many different charts. Like everything I've ever traded in Webull has lines on it. I'll be damned. We're heading back to regression. Currently,
Yeah, it's pretty crazy actually.
405.55 is target for 1-for-1 across that that division I put in there. Boom, nailed it. Nailed it. I love that. Like I said, these one for ones, once you pick them off of these fan lines, man, I swear to you, you can just sit there and do this all day long. You'll have a lull between like 11 and 12:30ish. So go take your lunch, come back, and you can finish the day doing the same thing.
US DOE
it's
EIA
incredible.
ethanol stocks 24.306 mil BBLS, minus 0.987 mil BBLS.
Do you hear me, Jeremy?
US DOE EIA
Yes, sir.
ethanol production 967 mil
FRC, where is it
BBLS,
gonna go?
minus
There is no
56 mil
bottom for that
BBLS.
chart.
Oh man, yeah, that thing's psycho. We're looking at. Let me pull it up here. It's halted again. Whoa, 492. Ouch. I was looking at that this morning. I was looking at Kramer's top 10 list to, short. I mean, not like SGM, but just something to be paying attention to. The liquidity zone is bottomed right here at about 480, and we blasted through that on a 1-minute chart. Let me dig this open on my big screen. Hold on a second.
Now we do have volume on Microsoft at the moment. Today's volume is much stronger than previous days' volume.
I mapped out a diagonal, and I mapped out a trend line and a liquidity zone on FRC. And actually it's hitting right on that sucker into this halt. Their earnings wasn't horrible. Their deposits were just slightly below what they're loaned out. I'm almost expecting another liquidity injection by the big banks at this point, but don't rule it out before it hits the bottom. Anywhere in here it can bounce. But that angular played out just beautifully on that descending channel, and we're at the base of it. If it breaks that, okay, yeah, we could see it hitting $2. But if it holds here and bounces, that thing can fly right back to that retracement at about $12. So definitely
lost over 50% yesterday, I guess.
Yeah. And as the dollar number goes down, the percentage of the swing goes up. Just like we did when we shorted Bed Bath & Beyond at that peak around $7. Same. Dollars are down, percentage swings are up. My goodness, that diagonal is horrendous. I want to see what happens when it comes out of the halt. I would almost expect a big green bar right back to $7.
Is it true that Bed Bath & Beyond claimed for bankruptcy?
Yeah, they filed it on a Sunday.
It took them long enough.
Right?
That whole stock thing definitely kept them alive longer than they needed to be. Anybody here trade Bed Bath & Beyond while it was going crazy?
I scalped it a few times, but I didn't really do much more than holding it for, whether long or short on a bounce, more than a couple hours, realistically. It's just one of those. Damn, there's a lot of pennies getting beat to hell this morning as well. Silvergate broke my support line, so I'm not touching that for a while. Mullen is like below 8 cents a share right now.
Sorry. Morning.
Morning.
Hey, good morning, Amy.
I forget that I'm automatically on, and I'm like, I've got people talking over here.
Whoops.
Mute everybody.
That happens. Happens to the best of us. All right.
Oh, that Lilu company has a special running right now. You can get $100,000 account for $15.
What?
And it's a bundle, so you get 5 accounts to try to hit your target. And so I'm just YOLOing those things.
What?
You go.
What?
Yeah,
Damn.
go long 12 contracts and go short 12 contracts. And you need yeah, 5 points in either direction.
So
Bam, you're funded.
that's
Yeah.
the other question. So with Lilu, if you pass the eval account, do you have to pay another fee to get funded?
Yes, you pay a one-time fee,
Mhm.
$150, but that's your data. That's
Right,
it
right.
forever for the life of the account.
So then, if you end up having to reset later on, you end up
You can't reset a funded account.
okay, but you end up
So you kill it, it's gone.
but if you continue to run it though, is that fee recurrent every month, even
Nope,
if you're doing good?
it's a one-time fee.
Okay.
Once you're funded, it's a one-time fee.
So then you don't have to pay monthly like your eval account or anything like that. It's just that one-time
Yeah,
fee, and
once
that's
you're
it.
funded, it's a one-time thing.
Okay.
You
Good to
have a
know.
choice. If you want to pay $88 a month for the life of the account, you can, but why? Now,
Right.
if you plan to max out in 1 month and then pull all the money out and close it, then yeah, pay the 88 monthly and close it.
Gotcha.
So it depends on how you want to manage it. If you're not doing copied accounts, like I'm doing copied accounts,
Right.
so I'm just accumulating, you know,
So
I have 25 right now, so
what
I'm
brokerage
in
is
the,
Lilu running on?
uh, I don't know what broker they use, but it's a Rhythmic Data
Okay.
account.
Gotcha.
But you can use any platform. You have to go over there and look because honestly I haven't looked. I've used CR Chart now for 4 years. The best one to do first has a 1-for-1 target and trailing drawdown, and that's the 25K account where you need to make 1,500, but you have a 1,500. So if you can get a bundle of those cheap,
Right.
that's the easiest one to do that quick YOLO. And I don't recommend doing that unless you can actually trade an account profitably, because what's the point of getting funded if you're not able to make money?
Right.
You don't want to pay a fee and then lose money.
Of course.
So there's different reasons for doing, handling it different ways.
Gotcha. Market's gonna do something fun because I'm about to go and let some coffee out. I'll be right back.
Right? Up or down is what we're going to do.
Imagine it didn't go up and down, and it just like went sideways. It literally just stayed at like 40, 90, and
So
forever.
I think that would be a broken stock market.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think then I'd just be lagging on my broker.
One of my pet peeves is people saying it goes sideways because it literally can't go sideways. It goes
Yeah,
up and down.
it
But yeah,
ranges.
it's in a range.
Yup.
I mean, it can literally, where have we went for the last 6 months? We're basically back at 4,100. We're between 4,000 and 4,200 is where we've been, but that's a lot of trading that takes place between those 2 points.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm just marking this out, and I have the push to talk thing on, so Mr. I cannot multitask right now is over here.
They turned me on to where I don't have to push the button, but now I have to be careful not to curse in front of you guys and all that kind of stuff.
I was gonna say I have that too, but but I'd rather the push to talk, just in case. I don't know. But I also got music on.
What do you listen to?
Right now, I'm just listening to like 90s hip hop hits or whatever. Essentials, Apple Music, they make their own little playlists or whatever.
I can't listen to any music that actually makes me think. It has to be like some kind of a jazz in the background, or I often listen to Spanish instrumental, which is just kind of a happy, bouncy kind of, guitar, easy. It doesn't distract me, but it keeps you in a lighter mood.
Got you. That's cool. Yeah, you said jazz. You ever listen to FKJ?
Yes.
Yeah? Yo,
Yeah.
is he not the best?
Yes.
What about Masego?
Yes.
Oh, let's go.
We need a jam. We need a jam session.
Yeah, all right. Let's hop in. What's the other channel? The Hangout?
Right?
Oh, that's so cool. I feel like I never meet people that know them. And yet they're so
I have
talented.
a sense of of music. I listen to a wide variety of weird stuff.
That's good. That's cool. Yeah, me too. I'll go I'll go from like James Brown to FKJ to like Erica Badu.
Yeah.
It's like weird. No country, not country, but everything
So
else
if
I'm
you
feeling.
listen to country, it's old school. You know what happens when you play the country music backwards?
What?
You get your car back, you get your wife back, you get your dog back.
That's great.
No, like old Dolly Parton or Hank Williams Jr. or
Willie Nelson.
yeah, the old stuff where they, you know, they tell stories and I don't like this. Although there's some stuff like I like Zach Brown, which really isn't country, but it's kind of southern rock, beachy southern rock.
Gotcha.
We're gonna head back down for a minute. Went down to 81.
Damn, it's crazy. These bulls just don't want to light up right now. VIX coming lower. What's VX doing? But now VX is definitely has been over that key level now. Yo, Ironclad, are you there? Oh no, he's got his headset off. He posted. I don't know if anybody else listening right now in the Discord, but I know Amy, you're there. But Ironclad posted around 10 minutes before open. Posted a little good morning team, what a ride yesterday. And then he posted a little bit of a technical analysis. He posted his chart, his trade plan. Um, Always feel free, anybody, everybody here, feel free to do that because it's great. Because you know what? If it works out, you could look back at it. It's almost like journaling too. But now that you have a community, you could get feedback on it. Somebody could say, "Oh, well, be careful at that level." Because in case you missed it, I have a demand zone. You know, you get that 2 cents, you get that extra look at the play, you get that extra confirmation of somebody else. Yeah, market's looking weak again right here. At least NQ is on the 15-minute. But 5-minute, I don't know. Sort of a rally, basing on the 5-minute rally. But if we can't break that key level 409175, we ain't going anywhere but down. If anything, right here would be a solid place to enter. No, I was gonna say enter a short and have really, really, really short risk on it. Like have a stop at like literally 2 ticks away. But you also don't want to be shorting a move up. Could be a good spot to go long too, because you could put your stop only a point or two away and look to profit at least 3, 4, 5 points. Good risk reward entry right here. What would Jeremy say? He straddles, right? Straddle up, buckaroos.
Whew, what'd I miss?
Whole lot of
Oh, Amy, did the horse give birth?
No, my God, she's killing me.
Oh man.
We leave for Mexico in 2 weeks, and we'll be gone for a week. And I swear to God, both these bitches are going to hold out until like either right before or right as we go. So I'm not going to be there for it. It'll really piss me off.
Gotta love it.
You gotta tell that horse to quit horsing around.
Right.
Oh man, I just broke my wrist
Yeah.
snapping my knee.
Now I'll
Alright.
share pictures when we get babies.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Hey, let's see what happens here.
Alright, y'all. I do have to get going. I have an appointment, but it was fun again trading with everybody. I will see you all tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining the stream today, everyone. I appreciate it.
Have a good one, Kev.
Thank you. You guys too. Take care.
You too, man. I'm gonna take over the stream. I'll hang out for a while. Whoop. Drop this on board. If I can get it to center. There we go. And pop this back in. Bam. I was off a tiny bit. All right, so I've been messing around a little bit with these fan lines this morning. Went down 2 deviations below the regression line. Sorry if I'm slowing ahead today. I've lacked a lot of sleep last night. Come back off that second regression, right back up to 1 deviation above. Actually, that's 2 because we can subdivide this as well. Pretty easy trade. We got the bearish 1-for-1, got the bullish 1-for-1. That's all done. Now we're hanging around. It's about 11 o'clock, getting close. Nothing really going on here yet until we see a consolidation break, and it can either give us a bullish 1-for-1 or a bearish 1-for-1 after the break. So we got Microsoft up here. It's actually accumulating. We could see this consolidate here and possibly push back up, but it's hard to say. Usually you get at least a quarter retracement, which we did. Half retracement would be ideal, but it doesn't have to. Market doesn't have to do anything you say.
It doesn't see all those lines you have on your chart.
Nope, it does not care. I've got FRC on here. This is my descending trend line I drew this morning before open, and of course it nailed it once. I printed liquidity off of that, and now we're just sitting here bouncing. Boom. We got a pretty good shot at hitting back to 7. That's risky as hell. Be very nimble if you're going to try and take that trade. And I got to get my SPY chart open, or not my SPY chart, my SPY equity open on my phone here. Give me a second. I'm looking for a midday swing, and I want to see if I can do it with 0 days. Kind of proving a concept if I can. I want to build a strategy that works great for people with margin accounts that are at level 3 options trading, but under PDT. And I'm kind of experimenting with a couple different things with SPY and Q here, doing like 0-day expiration where you go and you buy a strangle on a 0-day if you can get a consolidation where you're likely to get a 1-for-1 in either direction. And then you can trade by riding the trend on the winning side and then capturing it by selling the next strike. So like if the puts start taking over here, you would go and sell a put against your long put. If the calls start taking over here, you would sell a call against your long call. And ideally, everything expires worthless, but you sell the next strike for more than you paid for the strike that you're long. The idea is you can capture profit without executing a day trade because it all expires worthless. Expirations of options that you purchase do not count as day trades. So if you lock in a profit on those, you can do this every day and not have to worry about having a day trade on your account. Needless to say, if you wanted to, if you capture a day strangle and you do have day trades available on that PDT account, you could certainly go the other way on that. You can go and just make the day trade and capture even more profit. So start with strangles, build a strategy that locks in profit or takes profit. All right, bullish 1-for-1 done off the deviation. Where do we go from here? Well, we can get a 1 minute 1-for-1 and plot right back to the 1 minute 200 period, which is kind of likely. It's a magnet, 406.60. We'll just watch it play through the fan lines. 1-for-1 here to here, done. 406.30, target set. Next target, if it continues up, 406.75. That's a 4-point move.
Any reason you change from the ES to SPY, Jeremy?
Just that I'm not as heavily trading futures at the moment. I have a small account with whatchamacallit, I keep forgetting the name of the stupid broker, Optimus Trading, and I'm kind of running that a little bit here and there with futures contracts, but more or less I'm also focusing on developing a strategy for SPY for those of us who do not trade futures. So the way I see it is if we have a mix here, I mean, I know not everybody's trading the same way, so I'm just trying to provide a variety where I can go and be able to cater to the options crowd as well as the futures crowd, and charting SPY on a 5-second gives me the ability to do both.
The voice is cut off. Is it from...
Has my audio been skipping out this morning?
No, I hear it just fine.
Okay, it must be mine. Thank you.
Oh, no worries. All right, so it looks like we're doing the old 11 o'clock grind. Let me see if there's any financial news popping up. Go double check my MoneyNet account and see if there's anything coming off here at 11. Looks like most things happen between 8:30, 9:45, and 10:30. I don't see anything scheduled at 11 other than there's a 17-week bill auction and a 2-year bill auction at 11:30 today. Might have a little ripple on the market, but not much. I think mostly the volatility that we're going to experience today is going to be from earnings, and typically that's going to be Microsoft, Google as well, and then Google actually had a better return to median than Microsoft did. Got right out of the gate, shot up for 110.60 in the earnings there. Came back 50% at the 200. We opened in below that, of course. Made a full 1-for-1 down to the next pivot, and it came right back to the center. Damn, this FRC could pull it off, man. There's your liquidity zone. We're in it. Halfway is about 620. That was quite the dip, dude. I'll keep that one on for volatility. All right, SPY, can we get back to 406? 406.65 at this point is where the 200 is. If you draw the box, that's a perfect 1-for-1.
So for the FRC, Jeremy, you're looking for 50% retracement from the liquidity zone?
Yeah, if it breaches this point here from this previous trend, about 585, we could see it push at least to the middle to about 620, 630. And if it resumes this entire liquidity zone, it could go right up to about $7. Definitely gonna be a highly volatile trade. So far, it's kind of cranking on. There we go. Now we're getting loose on SPY. And we're right at another division line too, so watch for your accumulation here. A 1-for-1 will split this zone up here. Let me adjust that a little bit. There we go. And that's 1-for-1 off of this division down here that I didn't add yet, but it's there. Let's see, I got a little bit of noise in the background from some relatives hanging out, but my noise canceling should get most of it, but if some of it comes through, I do apologize for any background noise. There we go, $6 nailed, 610, easy. Halfway through liquidity right there, 620. I'll put a horizontal line right on that mark. I love identifying liquidity zones, guys. All right, back again, accumulating on this fan line right here, hanging around 406.20. A 1-for-1 would take us to the next line up here at about 406.45. Quick little 2-pointer. Bit of a tweezer top on FRC there, but let's keep an eye on that 8 period. We can still trend here. Grab a 5-second chart for a moment. That's a bit of a topping pattern too. Short-term pullback target. We could just do this with GAN fans, just like we would with SPY. Did I say GAN fan? I meant my fan. the Jeremy fan.
I'm a Jeremy fan.
Oh, I got a fan page. All right.
Yeah, today's action's been weird. It's in fits and spurts.
Yeah. Here we go. Quick 1-for-1. Look at that. You ever think you'd be trading?
At a place where the market doesn't really know if it wants to actually sell off like it probably should.
Right.
Or if it wants to squeeze the shorts and rally back up to 4,200.
The long term is that 406 is the critical support, and you know this trend here is easily repeatable to the downside. You got pause at like 402 and a quarter.
End of the week.
Right.
Remember that. And we've got Fed speak next week.
Yep. Things
So
is
it could
happening.
be, I mean, it's a tough one because the end of the month too, end of the month is generally pretty bullish. But then
Generally,
again, a sell in May and go away is a real thing this year, I think.
it seems to be taking shape that way, doesn't it? I know that's an old adage or old.
It hasn't been that way for the last couple of summers, but
Yeah,
I think
but
we might just have that.
might live up to it. Check out this setting up lines on a 5-second chart for FRC, dude. Setting up for a 1-for-1. There's your regression. Again, subdivide your channels. Up. So I can get the line to converge right. There we go. I swear, this is just something that is fixed to the market where the algos trade with each other.
Yeah. Pretty soon AI is going to enter this, and I feel like they need to make two different markets, one for the algorithms to just run and one for real people.
Right? And if you dare make that transition, or if they make it so the algos can't trade the human market, but the humans can trade the algo market, I'm down. Because I can see algos doing this stuff all day. 1-for-1, look at this, dude. How cool is that? $406.65 is the extension on this. We're about where the 200 is on the 1-minute chart. It's a 1-for-1 from this bottom, this conversion, or this consolidation. Boom, target reached. Love it, guys. That is my bread and butter.
Hey Jeremy, I was trying to trade that chart last night on TraderBase. It's useless. So I'm gonna try my best to get TradingView today to see if I can follow what you're doing, because technically I could chart on trading and I could use the DOM on TraderBase, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, seems to be.
Okay.
So,
I'll give that a shot.
You can literally, chart spy on a 5-second chart. I still love Webull because it's so smooth and clean and so easy to draw on. And I can still just flip the DOM open on my phone and take these trades on the ES, on the ES and the MES.
Yeah, we don't have Webull in the UK. So.
No, you gotta have some decent, at least to where it looks decent on a 5-second chart. That would be ideal.
Yeah.
Because, you can nail and bag these 1-for-1s all stinking day. It's just incredible. Perfect move. Stop just at that 200 period. So, technically, the box is like your hand grenade. The 200 period is precise. That's your sniper. We might finish this move after all up to the next scan line, which is going to be 406.70 currently. FRC.
All right, I gotta get going, guys. Take care.
Same.
All the best in the market.
You too, man. Thanks for joining us again.
Oh, anytime.
I just wish I had more sleep last night, but I'm glad that I was able to get up and get a lot of that stuff written down so I could talk about it today. Even though my brain doesn't quite comprehend the English language as well as it should today, it's working enough to get it out.
Oh yeah. I'm not thinking too clearly. I'm playing in these evals today. I'm not even trading my cash account. I'm too tired. Maybe this afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, I traded overnight. I took a couple shorts overnight and just set up, and so I woke up with $200 in the bank. I'm good.
There you go. So I have some more questions with Lilu now because I'm kind of waffling between. At the moment, I want to do an eval account at least to mess around because I know I can shred the hell out of a paper account over and over and over again. It's really easy. When it comes to my own money, it's a little different. I'm still profitable, but it's like I know I could do a lot better if I just ignored that frugality and went for size like I would on a paper account. So I'm kind of toying with the idea of doing the prop fund account just for the hell of
Yeah,
it.
because if you get funded, it's that nice next step where it's still real money. So you have that, like, I want to withdraw this. I don't want to just throw it away.
Right.
But at the same time, if something bad goes sideways on you, your only loss is the fee,
Right.
you know? So you have all the upside with very little downside. Now, there's only so many times you want to burn your fingers like that, but the idea is you get better at
Right.
trading. Like these $100,000 quote unquote, it's really just $6,000 of really $3,000 of trailing, but you get size. You get up to 12 contracts.
Right.
So I can play in the ES like it's the MES.
Right.
And like I did $5,000 this morning, pretty easy. And it just gives you that confidence. And then you're like, whoa, I'm only $1,000 away from getting this thing funded today. And it was like not hard.
Well, because I was thinking of doing that save 90 code on Apex and then running with the $50,000 account for $18.
Buy 2 or buy 10. I mean, do a lot of them.
Right.
You know, a lot as in more than one. Do them in pairs, in other words. And then experiment. You know, don't be afraid. Because you only have to pay if you want to. If you get multiple ones funded, you don't have to pay the fee and fund them. You can just be like, great, I made it.
Right. But how long can you hold those eval accounts that have passed? Like, is there a set amount of time you can just sit on them?
30 days. Well, no, actually, what you want to do is if you're getting close to passing, milk it, you know, for the 30 days if you don't want to fund it right away. If it's funded with them, you've got to sign the contract and pay the fee within like 48 hours.
Right. Damn, I'm getting a 2-for-1. 407's a target.
Right
Noisy,
back at
nice.
4,100.
Loving this price action. There's FRC running right to the division line. $6.
Oh, nice.
Bam. Pretty much everything volatile works so well with these fan lines. It's not even funny anymore. It's just like, this is starting to get serious.
Yeah.
I've broken the matrix, I swear. Bam, $6 nailed. 610's next.
What are you trading?
This one's FRC.
Okay.
Bam, 614. Right to the line, dude. How badass is that, guys?
That's some badassery.
Sure is. Yeah, like you say, Jeremy, just let me know when you're up for doing
Oh,
any
definitely.
sort of tutorial on this.
Yeah, I need to build that, and it's great to have someone who's got all the right questions to ask while I'm doing it. That's why I was talking to you about it. Woo! Going for 620. Where is that in relation to that liquidity zone? Let's see. We're halfway. Bam. All right, if we make a 1-for-1 out of this, we go to the top of liquidity. $7. Easy trade. Just keep watching the fan lines. You can keep adding divisions. You can keep adding extensions. Just run it on up. Boom. SPY completed 1-for-1. We might get 2-for-1 to the center of its liquidity zone. Looking for 407.50. I'm going to add an extension.
This morning's high, we could get rocking and rolling to the upside.
Oh, yeah.
Squeeze shorts. This is one of those times where I'm very tempted to go long. And I got to do it carefully because I
Right.
hate long.
We're right at that pre-market high, just about. Yeah. And the 5-minute 200 is right there too, and it's right at the center of the overlap. These two liquidity zones kind of merged. Let me show you where I got them from. if I can even remember where I got them from.
Did not break the IB to the low, so we are very likely to break the IB to the high. So I am going to go long here. I think we're going to pull back and I'm going to add to it, and then we're going to pop that top. How far we go, I don't.
Dang, where did I build these from? Okay, so it looks like this is my upper link. That's probably on the daily. Why did it set me back so far? There we go.
I'm hungry.
Blow this up. So I've got this zone here for our daily. That's our big zone. The overlap is this small zone on the base of this guy. That's where the overlap is. We're right in the middle of it. And if you look at the big zone, it's only the bottom quarter. So if we start hitting for a 50%er, that should take us to about 409.40, 409.50 in the center of that liquidity zone. Either we'll get a rejection there and bounce back to the bottom, or we will have a push through where we really start squeezing the shorts. Momentum will pick that up. If they get squeezed, they'll send it straight to 411.50. No problem. So keep an eye on these liquidity zones. They're right here. They're plain as day. Looking at the 2 hour, we got a basic double bottom here right at a key pivot, and we're in that liquidity zone. Fairly good chance of running at least to the top of the first part of the zone to like 411.50. We got a very high probability of at least hitting the middle of it, about 408 if you want to throw a center line in there. But just remember, this overlap's going to be where the decision's made to push that. So that overlap is just two different zones overlapping each other, and it's right there. Look, pre-market open is right in that range.
Pull back. NQ is on fuego.
So again, when you start getting this kind of volatility in the market and you've got the entire liquidity zone mapped out, this is where you have enough price movement where those strangles, those far out of the money strangles that you can run on 0 days, by that I mean a few strikes out, can really start to pay off, and you can take your small account that's under PDT, as long as you have level 3 options trading ability, you can really capture a lot of profit doing this without executing a single day trade.
Tricky.
It's going to take some skill. I'm not going to lie, it's not going to be easy. But once you get it, it's like riding a bike. All right, we're right in that overlap, and that is the pre-market was right in this range just before open. We wicked it and pulled back. So be cautious of a quick regression back to here. Just another subdivision for the downside, and if we snap it, we can go lower. If we hold it, we can bounce out and go 1 for 1 up to the upside.
Oh, we did a V recovery again.
Is that what they call a V bottom? Man,
So
I'm so focused in on it. 5 second. Go ahead.
So I did, a couple of days ago I posted. Let me see if I can find that post. It's exactly the same thing, man. It's like today just repeated 2 days ago.
Yeah.
We've been in Groundhog Day for about a week or so now. Slow grind up, pull back. Slow grind up, pull back.
Right. Here's one more thing to pay attention to here. This descending range expansion, this descending megaphone pattern. Classic. When these break, they typically will hit a 50% retracement. So we're looking at 408 as a target for 50% roughly. But if it fails, it can go right back to regression and subdivide that too. So keep an eye on your fan lines, guys.
Here we go. Popping that IB, break to the upside, and then what? follow through or not.
Maybe I should name my own indicator. Call it the J-Fan. It'd be pretty easy to set up a formula to do this. The 0 point is where it gets tricky.
So we hit the IB to the tick, and we've created a poor high.
Now look at that. Same exact setup from 421 today. Same, like literally the same thing.
I hate these. This is like major indecision.
Yep.
All right, that means sit on hands. I only have $450 more to get this one account funded.
Nice.
That's the risk of these. You're like, come on. And you'll do that right to zero.
This is our new regression line for FRC here. 630. Just nailed 1 for 1 coming. 648 to 650. Next.
I think it's time to go get something to eat.
Yeah, it is 11:15. Eat your lunch before the market does. We do have that auction coming out at 11:30. I think it was. Let me double check. Yeah, we got the 17-week and the 2-year. So we got the 17-week bill auction and the 2-year FRN auction. So might have a little bit of volatility here in the next 12 minutes. Stay frosty.
Yeah, staying frosty is the name right now. We're just right at this major inflection point. Let's figure out who wants it worse, the Bears or the Bulls.
Right.
I don't care.
Just go one way or the other, damn it.
Omnivore.
Yes, yes.
Just one of those days that I agree with the people that say they can be anything, boy, girl, animal. I don't care. Just tell me, and I'll play that game.
Just go with the flow.
Up or down or sideways. I just
come-
want clarity. That's all.
I identify as an omnivore. I eat bears,
right.
bulls, and pigs. The chart tells me which one to eat and when.
We've had a really nice, I mean, it's been fairly good trading. It's been a little bit kind of like fits and spurts. Like it'll take off and then it stops and you think it's going to go the other way, but then it goes more. And it's a
Right.
little tricky. But once it shows its hand, it generally has been good for 2 or 3 points.
Oh yeah, it's been just smooth.
Well, I identify myself as a transsocial. You know that?
Like that.
All right, all
I
right.
You're
am.
not antisocial. You're not like, yeah,
think
both.
I am a rich person trapped in a poor man's body.
I've said that for so many years.
Oh man.
I
And-
spend like the rich. I eat like the rich.
Yeah,
I
I
do
definitely
everything the
have
rich does,
paid.
but I'm in a poor man's body.
It sucks, man.
Pay taxes like the rich.
Right?
I'm not rich. I just pay taxes like the rich because I live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow,
we
you
actually-
get all those
I pay
benefits, though. You
more
get all those
taxes.
wild, wonderful benefits living there.
We have
I pay
none.
more taxes than the rich do.
Oh, I don't know. Define rich. I'm rich in my own way. I get
Oh,
to do whatever I want all day long, for the most part.
I just want to buy some eggs. Maybe turn the heating on.
Yeah.
I'll be rich
I buy
someday.
some chickens and feed them so I can have free eggs. Quote, free eggs. Those
Yeah.
home-raised eggs are probably the most expensive eggs you'll ever have.
Hey, you know, for many years, eggs was 99 cents a dozen, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we would get a buy 2 get 3 free promotion at Harris Teeter.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, that was like right when the pandemic started, right? And Harris Teeter had all the specials, buy 2 get 3 free, you know, kind of things and whatnot. I would go there and stack up on stuff. And then eggs went up to like what, $5 a dozen.
Yeah.
Now it's down. It's down to
Pretty cheap right now.
It's down to 270 at the HEB right here.
Let's be buying the eggs that are 6 months old.
Hey, I'm.
I get the free range ones that are petted every day,
Yeah.
and they're so.
That's what I get. I got friends with chickens, and
I actually go get fresh chicken eggs from a friend of mine, and
yeah.
I give them $5 but they are literally like laid that day,
Yep, same. So
and
good.
they are the best.
Nice orange yolk and all the flavor
Yep.
you want. Yeah. I got some duck eggs
They're
last week too.
loved. Those eggs are loved. Oh, we're gonna go up. Okay.
Yep. We're in that liquidity zone right into the opening range from the pre-market. They're right at the overlap of those two liquidity zones. We go up
That's what I
here.
said, we're gonna test the pre-market high.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Let me see here.
Yeah, I don't really want to go long here though. This is where it gets a little tricky.
Ryan, are you still listening?
That's the trap right here. They're trapping. They're trapping exactly what's gonna happen. So if you look at back on the 421, I just posted those charts right there. 421, what happened there? We made all the way back down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, is
Yeah,
that
we went
gonna
up.
repeat?
We did like a zigzag 4 times. That was
So
weird.
yeah, I'm looking at would it be the same day? Because if it is the same day, then we are bound to go down.
Look at
It's
that
just that
pullback.
there's a vacuum on the volume profile because of yesterday's drop that goes all the way to 41.26, 41.29. That's like way up there.
Those single prints, but we filled those in overnight.
We did.
Yeah. We went to 16 overnight.
Because the weekly volume profile is right here at 41, the 4100 between 4099 and 4105. That's the weekly profile so far. And we are what, Wednesday? Yeah. So I don't know, are we gonna
Even orders
reverse
sitting
that
right
again?
there. I think 20 is reasonable.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, 4120, 26, 20. Well, the first one that I have is at 4121, and then 4126. That's if we decide to make a big push here, but I'm not confident that we're gonna do
It's
that.
not feeling like it, is it?
Yeah, I don't.
Here we go though. There's a lot of buyers on the tape.
Yeah.
It's all blue.
Hey, look at your 30-minute chart. We've got trend, we've got double bottom, we got R1 at 408. I think we'll at least hit that, and then we'll decide if this is going to trend all the way to the top of liquidity, or if it's going to reject and break down as a bear flag.
Well,
Cash
I
market
gotta
is
I gotta jump on calls in 7 minutes, so this thing is gonna rip. Then it's
Probably.
11:30. Yeah,
You know
it's
it.
11:30. This thing's gonna go to the moon.
Yeah.
And we're okay.
We'll see. I was going to
Well,
say.
we're coming up on yesterday's RTH close, right? And if we go through the RTH close of yesterday, then there is a 4110 target and 4117.75 again. Those are I've been calling out those numbers for a while, and yesterday they hit, and they're gonna probably hit back again.
Agreed.
Oh, the NQ went right to its overnight high and came off. That's interesting.
I was going to chart Q next.
The same thing with the ES. We went to the wedge pre-market high. But who knows, I'm tempted to put in a quick short on MNQ right here with a very tight stop. See what happens.
Yeah.
Q has a bullish 1-for-1 setup here. Target 315. And it's going parabolic now.
Okay.
So yeah,
it's not moving.
If we get through this overlap, dude, it'll shoot straight to 408 on SPY too. So, and then watch for that is R1. So if you break a double bottom off,
408. Okay.
If you break a double bottom off beyond R1, damn it, I keep messing with Q and I'm not meaning to. Brain dead, no sleepy. R1 on the 30-minute chart is right at 408. We break that, we'll start shooting for upper range. Let me get rid of
Oh,
these.
look at that.
I think I'm with you on the MNQ.
Yeah, that's what I said. MNQ right there. We just broke the 37
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
on the section, so
Um,
I might just put one in right here just for the heck of it. I'm on a very tight.
Oh, I'll just add to it higher up. I should show you guys how I trade the MNQ. It's a very loose scalping way. I build up a position and take off. I try to get 10 ticks at a time. Either way.
Yeah, that's what I got set up. I have set up a target of 10 and a stop at, well, 10 points and a stop at.
It'll eat your lunch on stops. And I don't even do targets. I trade naked. That's why I do this on radio. Just no cameras on.
yeah. So, if you also remember, I drew a diamond and it was also on SPY. Descending channel.
We were seeing the reversal, man, happen.
Yes. And I found that if you look at the fan lines on the 5-second for Q, they tend to be a little smoother than they are for SPY, as a matter of fact. So.
Yes, I don't even chart. I don't even watch the NQ when I'm trading it. I watch the ES, and we just rounded that top. We're diverging, coming off with. We're heading down at least temporarily. So I will be shorting the NQ until that changes.
Oh, there's a regression line right there for you. Boop.
3 minutes. Market alert. 3 minutes.
Yep. Ryan, if you're still listening, I was trying to point out FRC hit kind of that upper range target. There's a division here that I didn't write, but that 1-for-1 down went to 622. If it continues, it'll hit regression back here at 610 again. It might give you another chance to trade it. Just be cautious because that's starting to look like a head and shoulders top for a retracement back to opening low at about 567 or even lower down to 4. Where was it? 4 something. Geez, 476. So just take heed. If you haven't taken profit on that trade already, be nimble. But I'll keep this on the.
Netflix is making this beautiful triangle thingy on the 1 minute right here.
I like it. Technical terms.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's a ascending triangle, but it's not an ascending triangle because it's just a triangle.
It's not ascending well, and that makes sense because it really is undecided right now.
Yeah. It's like how we,
might be it for the day. We might just bounce around, stick around this 4100 area, above and below it.
2 minutes till those auctions, so well, a minute and 50 seconds.
I've been buying those 6-month treasury bills like they were cheap candy.
Hell, even a 2 months were up there like, what was it, 4% for a brief period?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to build an account and start doing those.
Yeah, I mean,
good place to park money.
Cash that's just sitting around, that's a great place to stick it for a while anyway. Maybe through the end of this year.
Just park it in a 2 month and flip it every once in a while. That's all.
And you can set it up to repurchase every time it matures.
1 minute. Ding 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 ding.
So I stretched out 36 ticks there in the MNQ.
20 seconds. Get ready.
Yep,
Flat for a moment, just in case we have a big move. Although I have short limit orders just above where we recently.
I put on a 0-day strangle just for the hell of it.
That's reminding me.
Look at us bouncing back into the open range.
So I'm gonna go check out Lilu and Apex. I'll compare the two. And you were saying for $15 you can get a bundle of 5 $25,000 accounts.
For 15, well, you can't because you have to have an account already open with them.
Ah,
That was
okay.
they're running some specials for people who already have. But actually, if you did one, then you now are an account holder. So then you would be. I can give you that code. So if you bought one for whatever, I think Apex has the best deal right now for first timers, and that's at 90% off.
Okay. Yeah, I might.
They don't do the bundles though.
That's okay. I think I only need one eval account to give that a shot.
Oh, I never got that filled. Damn it, man! And I would have been profitable. I was so right.
There we go. We're building steam here. Playing on two key pivots.
Or tried to buy. I tried to get in at 4,100 when we were down around 40.80 long. I wasn't watching my options. All right, well, I'm gonna cancel you. Oh, that would have been so good. $700 I just missed out on.
I think this is where my division lines started failing when they went horizontal. Delete those and add back if they'll let me. I gotta figure out how to clear that entire cache, because I think this is, like I said, I've run out of lines for every chart, not just SPY and Q. It's just every chart. Yeah, see, it's doing it again. They did have an update available though. I might just see if it's just an update issue.
Perfect. I looked away. I got hit on that MNQ, and now I'm up 50 ticks.
Sweet.
I will take that. Thank you very much. That was a little pop and drop.
Cha-ching, thank you.
MNQ is like playing tennis.
Well, like I said though, the fan lines on Q tend to be a little smoother than the ones on SPY.
So fast though, I don't know how you can make use of drawing anything.
Oh, I can.
I have to see them in my mind and just grab it. Kind of like snatching a purse. You just go for it. Not that I've ever snatched a purse.
Hey, no judgment.
You can judge. You just can't stop.
There you go.
That's why I always tell people, I'm like, oh, I judge a lot. I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want, but I'm going to sit here and make fun of you all day long.
Why not?
I mean, that's entertainment.
Of course.
I'm sure
how
everybody gets a good laugh out of me quite often.
That is how thick skin is made. And America needs a lot more of that, in my opinion.
Man, there's no doubt. All right, we're going back up.
Yep. So I'm demonstrating those fan lines on Q up here at the same time. So here's my 5-second Q. And you can see
what you're doing.
They're very clean. Compared to SPY, and SPY ran me out of lines, so I can't draw anymore. But I will, there's your regression line, boom, rejection, right down, pull back, 1. Tip off the deviation.
Got 1.
It just makes some sense of it. So here was your 1-for-1 off of this, up to regression. Here's your pullback and test, regression back, bam. 1-for-1 setting up. 314.50 is the next target if it gets loose of this. Watch the accumulation. There's a 3-bar right there too on the 5-second as well. 1, 2, 3.
We'll probably overshoot that a little bit.
It's a little double top on top of the 200 though. Be careful.
I tried trading the NQ mini, but man, it's one of those things you can really get run over, backed up, run over again.
Well, it's like once you can find targets though, even though it's volatile.
But it moves so fast, you can't get your targets in there fast enough. It can move, and it's so thin, and it can skip 5 points at a time.
Right. Well, that's what's awesome about having these fan lines out though, because you can plot the 1-for-1s, and all you got to see is the previous move. And plot your...
You almost have to have your targets in place before you put your trade on.
And that's exactly what the fan lines do for you. Once you see the one leg, you can trade the second leg.
Yeah. It's a whole different skill set trading the NQ.
It is. And, you know, when you see in stuff like this, unless you can trade that fast from 1 to 2,
Yeah. I
wait.
trade it like a shotgun approach.
Yeah. Well, for me, I would just sit here and wait because there's
Yeah,
nothing
you
but
have to
patience
let
here.
it come to you. So I even when, I mean, I never use market orders because you can get filled wildly off.
Oh, yeah.
You know, bad fills.
Yes, you can.
But I'll set limit orders in areas where, I mean, you use the fan lines. I look at areas of volume.
Right.
And NQ has it has a rhythm to it. It likes to go to certain places.
Boop, playing right between these two lines. We've got regression and first division. There we
There's
go.
100 ticks.
1 for 1. Drop down, looking for
An aggressive move down on the ES.
314. Sorry. Bam, done. 1 for 1 right there.
Oh, I think we're heading back down now.
Yeah.
We've decided that was high enough.
Had enough. Going home.
Yeah. Maybe is that the news that just came out? I don't know. I'm watching Fox Business and they didn't say anything about it. Not on their radar.
Let me see what the news ticker on MoneyNet. Bam, US2, there we go. High discount margin 0.169 versus 0.19 previous bid. Cover 3.04 versus 3.51 previous. So that was that bid on a US 2-year FRN.
Nice. I might just put a
Bam, bearish.
stop in here and see how far down we go.
Right. It's setting up a 1 for 1. QQQ target is 313.75 here, but it can bounce. So
Vancouver, Washington. Who's calling me from Vancouver?
Deutsche Bank is like out there judging everybody else's equities as usual. They just adjusted their price target for tenant healthcare, and they moved it to 81 from 80 or from 65, so they increased it. Maintains a buy rating.
I got put 300 shares of Credit Suisse.
Ah, what's that trading at right now?
I'm okay, although they're below $1 now. My cost basis is right about 90 cents, which is right where they're trading. So I'd like to sell some calls on it, but if they stay below $1, won't they get delisted?
If they stay below for too long, yeah, they will. Wait, what listing are they on? Hold on. Let me go look.
Remember, is it CME or is it the NYSE?
NYSE. So they're good to $1, yes.
Yeah, so they need to get their butts in gear and get back above $1. I think after earnings, when all this shakes out, maybe. Otherwise, I'm going to be owning some Credit Suisse for a long time.
And I'm still looking at selling some cash-covered puts on Silvergate. It's just not.
Is it SI?
Yeah, it's just that it's not quite hitting the right bid-ask spread on the options chain. So it's like, I don't like it.
Yeah, I've got. I put a little trade in on SI. I did. What did I do?
Even though there were some Muppets that bought $4.28 puts for 5 cents a piece this morning.
I sold that deep in the money put and collected like $2 on a $2.50. Nice. Yeah, so I might get put those shares as well. See what happens.
I'm also
but those
watching.
Don't start till May, so.
Yeah, I'm also watching OPEN the same way. And then Mullen's an interesting one. You could sell 50-cent puts for a cost basis of like 7 cents a share, expiring this Friday, right now.
Interesting. All right, we are going back to 1,300 then, or 13,000. Which would make sense because we just, I
Well,
think to the tick went to the overnight high. Just, yeah, 12,998. We probably need to and it likes to overshoot by about 20 points. So we'll probably go to 13,020.
well, look at Q. We got this division line here. 1 for
I still
1
like it
sets us
short,
up,
not long.
runs right to regression. That's a quick bull, 1 for 1, done. And then you might still get your short here. You might be able to get better advantage of
Yeah,
it
I
here.
like
But
the short up there.
be careful because this regression line has an upper channel output, and that 1 for 1 is huge.
Yeah, I will build my short all the way up to 1320 and see what happens.
I'm looking at first target 314.55. So what is that? 31.45. Oh, fail. Back down.
I was gonna say, or not.
Well, it's like you could go short right at the regression line and catch that. Or you can wait till it shakes out, because this is a regression line. This is the middle of our big channel. And we got all these divisions within that channel. So we made our bullish 1 for 1. It had strength here. Pull back to 50% was very much expected. But if you break out from here, you get a very fast move up to 314.55. FRC, there was your second chance entry coming up. Extension target about 694 coming right up. Looks like it halted too. So I love scalping pennies. It is so simple. Now that I can apply fan lines to it, it's even better.
Personality.
Yeah. It's just fun. I mean, like, I could have the worst day trading, futures and SPY options or what have you. I can go scalp a penny of that day and just feel like $1 million. It just makes me feel so good because they're easy, just easy. All right. Well, I'm gonna knock.
Have my husband learn from you. He's bought at the highs every time and sold at the lows.
That sucks.
I'm like, dude, would you just stop?
Yeah, there's only so much disposable income you can throw down that hole.
I give him a couple $100 and I just look away.
Yep. It's like, you don't want to know what happens.
And it's his money, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that was dinner out, man. You just blew.
Indeed.
Hope you had fun with that. I hate losing money.
Boom.
I don't like going to Vegas because I don't like losing money. And it's built to lose you money.
Oh, yeah. Very rapidly.
I would rather spend $200 on a dinner
Dinner and a show.
$200 at a slot machine. Now I do like playing like craps is fun because it's it's more you're paying for the entertainment of people around you and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I like blackjack. There's actually some skill to playing blackjack.
There is. I've back in the day when you could still find single deck tables with a $5 minimum bet limit, I used to streak the hell out of blackjack.
Yeah.
And they don't like you to put chips in your pocket when you're sitting at the table. They frown upon that. But if you stand up for a second and do it, they kind of look the other way. Back then they did. So I would go and find these single deck hands and I would just keep riding my bet out until I started noticing the probabilities fade. So then I'd pull back to my original bet. But I'd always streak the winnings over and over again. And whenever I would double my money, I would put that amount back in my pocket.
Yep, that's the way to do it. Gotta stay ahead.
So I'd have to stand up, turn away from the table, shove chips in my pocket, and then go turn back around, put the other half of the chips back on the table, and start over. They're okay with that. I wasn't counting cards or anything. I was just looking at the probability of hitting a face card. Pretty
Yep.
simple. And knowing like, okay, if the dealer's sitting at
Counting cards is legal. You just, if you're good at it, they will ask you to leave.
yeah, pretty much. But it was fun because the dealer would be the rules would be like they had to hit or they had to stand on, was it 13 or 15? I can't remember. It's kind of odd. And then they had to hit on 13 and stand on 15. I think it was what the rules were. And it was just easy to be like, you sit there and you've got a soft, soft 15 on yourself. You can sit there and stand, even if the dealer has a 15 showing. You end up pushing, or they end up busting if they're under 15 because they'll end up hitting it. All right.
Almost got out of my short profitably, and it moved against me. It was one tick away.
All right.
Thank you.
Are we setting up to push that liquidity zone? Remember, the 1-for-1 here is 408 with an overshoot. Look what's behind it. So if this accumulation breaks, we're actually going to shoot for 408.50 if that breaks.
YM is joining the party, and
Woo!
so is RTY.
There's FRC out of the halt. About to nail that target. Oh. The Bears tried to take it.
Almost had it. That was how I felt. I had 3 MNQ on, and it literally came down one tick above my take profit, and it went back up.
Bam!
That's all right. I just added to the short on that push.
To the penny with that regression line on FRC. Look at that, dude. 695 on the nose. Damn, that was easy. Telling you guys. I think I broke the matrix. All right, there is a division line here, although Webull will not let me draw any more relevant lines in this fan session. It just keeps dumping them right away. There's a few horizontals here that shouldn't be there. Whatever.
We're going higher. That's a 4 high.
When I sign off, I will clear my lines and start over again. And I got to figure out how to clear the main cache on this thing, because I think that's what's tying me up. I've run out of lines I can draw. All right, where is Tesla going? Kind of eked out a V-bottom, but then it failed.
So you would call this a triple top on your 1 minute chart?
For SPY?
Mm-hmm.
Not quite. It's a megaphone until it's a triple top. The triple top would be you have one peak, higher middle peak, and then.
Well, the middle peak isn't higher. That's true.
And then the other thing is the right peak has to be about where the left peak was. So.
Well, we are right there.
But it looks like range expansion first, so it can still be a diamond top. It can also still be an accumulation for a 1-for-1. So let me just draw it real quick. Give you an idea what I'm looking at.
What happens when your middle hump is lower than, because it's definitely not head and shoulders, right? And why wouldn't that be a triple top?
I generally.
I'm just looking on the chart. I mean, I don't know. I don't do technical analysis. So.
I generally see that when the middle, if you draw your regression lines like you're drawing a megaphone here, you got range expansion. So if the middle ends up under this regression or under a division of regression, and it's lower than the first peak, they're actually more likely to be bearish. And in this case, we have range expansion, but we're coming back to the regression line.
I'm going to argue that we're going to go higher here, at least in the short term.
It's
I can
likely.
tell by the volume is picking up. We've left UB on this 30-minute candle. We have an unfinished, or we have a poor high, which means it stopped within a tick of the previous 30-minute high.
Right.
So we're.
So we wicked right to the upper division of our regression to angular resistance here on this 1 minute candle. So if we shoot this, we might get a 1-for-1 and go even higher. 408.50s on deck for a 1-for-1.
Or we might just go 2 ticks higher and then completely turn around.
Right. That's the other scenario, is it can do that. So I'm going to come up to median value with the box. I'm going to drag that sucker up here and check it out. Lines right up with 408.50.
It doesn't feel like we're building up to some great crescendo that we're going to blow out the top and keep going. It just doesn't quite feel that way today.
Right. And,
you know, just come back down to 4,100 and hang out.
It is a Wednesday after all.
Yeah. We don't really have any catalysts left today to push us around. And my flow print is telling me we've got more sellers right now.
Well, like I said, watch this division line right here. And it's right at the base of that liquidity zone. So if we get a full-on 1-for-1, target's 408.50. If we don't, we can reject and come back down. Here's regression, about 407 even. This is that time of day, though, where it's very likely to have that pullback anyway.
Yeah, and none of it really is very reliable this time of day. That's the thing.
Right.
It can be really herky-jerky. And I am getting more hungry by the second.
Yeah, I'm about to crack open a Cliff Bar, and I got to sign off of YouTube. I don't like chewing on the microphone.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for joining us on YouTube, guys. Hope you got a lot out of this today. Today it was a lot of fun. Back and forth with Kevin, kind of showing you guys the inside of our Discord channel and how it all works. And man, price action has just been freaking awesome lately. The more volatile, the better these fan lines work, as far as I'm concerned. You can even have like main patterns fail, and these fan lines just get better. So unless this is just a market condition and it fades, and like we start working away from fan lines, which I don't see as likely because they're generated generally by algos trading with each other. We could start to see a lot more consistency of making great trades out of these fan lines as the participation in the market falls in. Like the more we talk about it, the more people catch on to it. This ends up getting around. I don't need to be famous for finding this. It's just something I happened along. But I'm just saying, if suddenly a whole bunch of people start talking about these fan lines and how to trade them on a 5-second chart, almost certainly expect the algos to change conditions. So that could be a factor. Who knows? That could be a conspiracy theory for all I know.
You conspiracy theorist, you.
But it's just interesting. Like it seems like the more people in general start to talk about patterns, the more frequently those patterns fail. So what's next? Well, if you get 1-for-1s all day long, and that's all the algos are looking for, all the market makers are looking for, trade the 1-for-1s.
That's when you go trade the RTY, or you trade the
Right.
NQ, or the YM, because they aren't ruled by the algos, but you watch the ES for signs.
Right. And it's funny because like the old saying from my generation was, don't hate the player, hate the game. Well, you don't have to hate the game if you can play it.
That's right. Cruise.
And the players are just going to be there anyway, so you don't have to hate them either.
Well,
all right, then, guys, thanks for joining us on YouTube. We'll see you guys tomorrow bright and early.